After 2 matches away from home, Phoenix Rising is back at home at Wild Horse Pass here in Chandler, Arizona, playing host to Las Vegas Lights FC. Tonight's match is presented by Equality Health. With the former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks for being with us. Phoenix Rising, of course, they have been flying as of late. They went through a dip in form in August, but they are back on track. And as we look at these Pacific Division standings, a win tonight would make them the first team in the USL Championship on 50 points.
Absolutely brilliant. Once again, we said season after season, they set records. Look at that goal difference, 27. And they want to reach the playoffs in perfect condition with the players rotated and rested, which is what their big aim is. As good as they have been, you look at Las Vegas Lights, and it's been a really tough season. That goals against difference, -26. That's not great.
And they have lost 8 in a row. But going back to the last match for Phoenix Rising, a dramatic 4-3 win over Los Dos.
Have a look, Kevin Lambert getting up there, scoring from the corner. The first one, the penalty by Aidan Quinn. And then here, the keeper's going to make a save. Who's quickest to react? Asante. Brilliant little finish there, following up as you should. And then pressure in the dying moments on the defenders. It's an own goal, but it's caused because of the pressure. A 4-3 win, and wow, was that a close game for Phoenix Rising.
Rick Shantz praised his team's resilience on that night. Let's take a look at our Player to Watch, brought to you by Pacific Office Automation. It's Santi Moar.
11 goals, 4 assists. What a season. And with Solomon Asante injured, this man has had to step up even more, and that's exactly what he's done, leading the team forward. What a player, what a star he has been.
And on the other side for Las Vegas Lights, it's been a tough run of form over these past handful of games, but Alex Rando made his debut against Phoenix all the way back in May.
Look at that, 15 saves against Phoenix. But even in the last match against Orange County, if it wasn't for him, they would have had a ton of goals put past him. Great reflex saves, coming for crosses, coming out at feet, dealing with one-on-ones. He's only 20 years of age, but he has had a great season so far.
So can Las Vegas Lights find a result? Last time they did, it was against this Phoenix Rising side about a month ago, but Phoenix has been flying at home. Lineups and first kick coming up next from Wild Horse Pass.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Building up to first kick here at Wild Horse Pass in Chandler. It's Phoenix Rising and Las Vegas Lights FC. Tonight's Hispanic Heritage Night is presented by Sprouts Farmers Market. It's time to look at tonight's starting lineups. They are brought to you by T-Mobile. Here's Rick Shantz's starting 11.
Yeah, he's got 3 changes. Joey Farrell, of course, suspended after the red, so Manuel Madrid is in. Ryan Fluck comes in at left back for Tate Schmidt, and John Becerra is going to play in that sort of false 9 role in place of Darren Mattox, who gets a well-deserved rest.
David Egbo and Solomon Asante along with Niall Dunn on the bench tonight for Phoenix Rising. On the other side for Las Vegas Lights FC, here is Steve Cherundolo's 11.
Yep, 4 changes from the team that lost 3-0 at Orange County. Tony Leone comes in for Tristan Weber, Sisi Uche for Mohamed Traore, who was sent off and is suspended. Chris Highmate for Frank Daroma and Julian Vasquez for Elmez Mari. So 4 changes in what looks like either a 4-3-3 or perhaps a 4-2-3-1.
Dekel Kainen making his debut on the bench tonight, the 37-year-old. Talk about him more later. Tonight's referee, Luis Guardia. It's Phoenix Rising in red, Las Vegas Lights in all black. We are underway tonight from Wild Horse Pass, Phoenix Rising and Las Vegas Lights. This has been a series that has pretty much predominantly gone to Phoenix Rising. 7-1-2 coming in against Lights all time. But it seems like every time these 2 teams meet up, there's always something interesting, whether it be the 2-2 draw last time out or whether it be the 5-1 win earlier this season where Phoenix Rising broke records in terms of shots and shots on goal. It forced Alex Rando into 15 saves on the night. Seems like there's always something in this matchup, and we're hoping for an entertaining one here tonight.
Well, if I was to guess, I would think it's going to be a lot closer to the 5-1 than the 2-2 draw away from home. And that's because Phoenix Rising is such an incredible side. If they win this, they will go clear top of the entire USL Championship. They have more shots on target than any team. They've taken 425. Next is Lou City on 337. That's 100 less.
An early chance, though, coming in the first shot of the match for Las Vegas Lights.
Well done, Las Vegas Lights, as I'm talking about Phoenix having more shots than anybody else. They get 1 on target, but you have to fancy the team in red to get a good, solid win. Not only because they're fantastic, but because this is a very, very young Las Vegas side. They have 6 players lined up tonight who are 18 years or younger. Now, that's massive credit to Steve Cherundolo and the entire organization and their link with LAFC that they can put out that many good, young, talented players. But of course, when you're up against a side as mature and powerful and strong as Phoenix, you take the risk of getting absolutely thumped, and it could happen.
Here's Aiden Quinn, an early chance! It's in! Aiden Quinn on the score sheet again for Phoenix. Not even 2 minutes gone, and Rising lead 1-0.
As we were saying, how difficult a match this is going to be for Las Vegas. The goal is scored, the smoke is out, the fans are celebrating. Aiden Quinn, yet again, what a season he's having. His 6th goal, along with 5 assists, and the crowd expect the goals, but maybe not as quickly as this. But they've put the pressure on, they've turned over this very, very young Las Vegas Lights side, and it made it very difficult for them. Look, a little ball across from Leon there. There's a dive-in tackle, but even then, a bit slow to respond. Aiden Quinn gets free, and he sticks in the back of the net. For a moment, you thought maybe they could just pull it back from going over the line. Sepulveda chasing back to see if he can defend. Keeper Rando gets a bit of a block. You're thinking, can they save it? And unfortunately not.
It was a good attempt there at the goal line, but just not able to keep it out. And Aiden Quinn scores a goal for Phoenix. That's brought to you by Arizona Federal Credit Union. And it has been quite the season for Aiden Quinn. That is his 6th goal on the season to go along with 5 assists. Another chance coming. It's Arturo Rodriguez who brings this down. Moar has it blocked down, and now it's cleared away. But Aiden Quinn became just the 3rd player in USL Championship regular season history to 35 goals and 35 assists, joining Jorge Herrera and, of course, his teammate Solomon Asante.
Yeah, this is David against Goliath, no question about it. And you do have an immediate concern for the kids of Las Vegas that they don't get thumped and it doesn't impact their confidence, because there's some wonderful young talent here, and you want them to grow in the game and be strong. But they've come to the toughest ground against the best side this season so far. And they've been given a huge task, and you don't have many players who are old to help them. Besides the 6 players who are 18 or under, 3 are at 20 years of age, and the 2 eldest are both 23. So you're up against men, stars of the USL. It's a massive ask, and I really hope it doesn't become too tough a night for these young stars.
And it's already the 2nd time this season that Phoenix Rising has scored in the 2nd minute against Las Vegas. So they are always rearing and ready to go, it seems, against this light side. Another ball curled in. This one pushed aside by Alex Rando.
Good header from Calistri there, and an excellent save from Alex Rando, and that's why we picked him out at the start of the show. He's been an absolute superstar for Las Vegas Lights, but again, that could very easily have been a 2nd goal in the first 5 minutes, and Las Vegas Lights maybe will have to focus a bit more on defense and slowly work their way back in the game. They don't want to find themselves on the end of a massive beating, and the way to stop that is to defend tighter, drop back, do the hard work. Don't worry about scoring goals quite at this moment. Rather just try and keep control of the game and do your defensive duties.
Let's go back and look at that last opportunity for Phoenix. Service by Flood.
That's a good header into the ground from Calistri, and an excellent save from Alex Rando, but Calistri shouldn't be allowed to get that freer header inside the box.
Come Las Vegas Lights now. It's Presto playing this in behind. Trejo trying to turn the corner to the end line, puts this in the middle. Chance here still for Vegas. Rodriguez tracking back defensively, and the foul comes against Jaime.
Good little foray forward from Las Vegas Lights. I mean, they have the ability to go forward and cause problems. These youngsters, Chris Jaime, they're just 17 years of age. Problem is that they mustn't lose sight of their defensive duties, otherwise they will get picked off by Phoenix, who, by the way, have now scored 51 goals, the most in the entire USL. So they've got the most goals, they've got the most shots on target. If they win this, they'll have the most points. You wonder what else is left for them to win.
Well, the thing that they're missing, and that's at the end of the season, the very end of the season, of course, the USL Championship Final. That is what they, of course, are aiming for. Another chance coming down this right side for Presto. Cross comes in. The trailing run is blocked down. Good chance there for Las Vegas Lights again. And now here comes Phoenix in transition, where they are most dangerous. Quinn gives it right back to Moar. It's knocked away. We should mention the link with, of course, Vegas and LAFC. The likes of Daniel Chrysostamos starting tonight for LAFC against Austin, while Duke, Jennings, and Musovski, all players who have contributed this year for Vegas, are all on the bench. So that's some of that link, and some of these players see that direct, I guess you can say, movement to the first team. Now here's Beccaro and Lambert. Cycle it out wide for Calistri.
Well, you're 100% right. I mean, there's a great possibility of playing your way through to the LAFC first team. And this is the way to learn. It's just there's so many youngsters in a team that it becomes extremely difficult. When you just blood 1 or 2 at a time, you give the rest of the team a chance. But when 6 of them are 18 or younger against Phoenix Rising, away from home, wow, it's a massive test. But some coaches, like Steve Cherundolo, might very well say, hey, that is how they're going to learn. They're going to learn the hard way, but it will toughen them up.
To the end line, and this knocked out of play. That's the first Carvana corner kick of the night coming for Phoenix Rising.
I think Las Vegas Lights, the players have looked at Solomon Asante on the bench and gone, phew, Kevin's, he's not playing, because you think about it, he's not playing. Matux or Egbo, those are all starters.
In swinger, right at Rando makes the catch. Let's take a look at tonight's injury report, brought to you by Spooner Physical Therapy. Just a couple of goalkeepers, Zach Lubin, who remains out, Philip Ejimadu, who is also out for the season for Las Vegas Lights. He also did play down the road at FC Tucson just a couple of years back. Here's King, and now Rodriguez. Rick Schunt said he was disappointed in his team's performance last time out against Las Vegas Lights, but the thing he did like about that, against Los Dos, the thing he did like though was the resilience in the team. It was such a back and forth match, and they just had to gut it out in the end, and eventually they did.
Yeah, they did. And if you play badly and you win away from home, 4-3, you know, there's a lot of positives you can take away. Of course, every season, Rick Schunt about this stage is looking ahead going, well, it's the playoffs that count, and we can't afford to be sloppy in the playoffs, because one bad day and you're out, you're gone. And I think that's what he's trying to get through to his players is you need to be disciplined, and they weren't. For the first 20 minutes, they couldn't quite figure out that Los Dos were playing in a diamond shape, and he said once they got the hang of that, they pushed the ball wide, which is how you stretch the diamond and make it very difficult, because the diamond's a very narrow sort of shape to play in. And he said, and then the opportunity started to come. But you can't take that amount of time to figure it out in the playoffs, because if you're playing Lou City or one of those teams, as we see the ball come in, Rando body behind it. If you're playing Lou City or Tampa Bay Rowdies or Colorado Springs Switchbacks or any of the El Paso, any of those level and quality of sides, you might not survive the playoffs. So again, he's looking for perfection from his Phoenix Rising team every time they play.
I thought it was interesting what he told us about the team talk he had. He said he talked to the team on the bus, and he said, I don't want to express my anger to the team because I feel like that doesn't come across. So instead, he came across with disappointment, and he thought that would resonate with the team a little bit better. And after he talked to the team, he said the bus was completely silent, and he turned to one of his assistants and said, they understand. They understand what I am asking of them at this point, and he hopes that they can turn it around, and so far so good in these opening 11 minutes.
They're such a wonderful outfit, and I must admit, if I got on the bus after winning 4-3 away from home and my coach was disappointed, I'd be like, really? But when you understand what he wants, which is to go all the way and win the championship, then you understand what he's looking for.
Here's Flood, fires this across. Rando got two hands behind it. Vegas trying to play out here from a tough position. They do quite well. King will get there for Phoenix.
And this team gets stronger and stronger, Phoenix. They've just made two new signings as well. Luis Manuel Ciejas and David Luera on loan from Orlando City. So, you know, they're just adding quality all the time, because again, their objective isn't just to win this division. It isn't just to win the Western Conference. It's to go and win the overall prize, which they got very close to last year. Of course, the final against Tampa Bay unfortunately called off.
It's knocked out of play. And it'll be a goal kick. Equality Health reminds you that the next time you or a loved one needs preventive or routine care, go to your doctor first. If you don't have a doctor, go to equalityhealth.com to find one near you. Musa cleaning up, but a bit too strong there for Andre Rawls, and knocks it out for a Las Vegas corner kick. First of the match for Lights.
Okay, so anything that Phoenix Rising have to be careful of now is some level of complacency. You have that sort of start. You think, well, this could be a 4 or 5 goal game for us. Your fans are behind you. And you get a little bit complacent because you're up against a team of very, very young players who, by the way, have the talent to score from this sort of situation. So you do need to concentrate.
It'll be Roberto Molina to swing this in. He scored a tremendous individual goal last time these two teams played at Cashman Field in early August. They'll curl this in from a different angle. Quinn up ahead for Arturo Rodriguez. Just enough of a touch to put this back for Avila.
By the way, you mentioned Roberto Molina. What a left foot this young man has. Saw the match against Oakland 2 games ago when he smashed one against the crossbar with that left foot. Wow. Incredible strike, and something that I've no doubt the Phoenix defenders had a good look at, and they're going to keep an eye on it and try and keep him away from the edge of the box. And if he does line it up, push him onto his right foot. Don't allow him to shoot with the left.
Las Vegas able to take some time on the ball here, to slow things down after that frenetic start from Phoenix Rising. But now here's Aiden Quinn. Gonna play it through the middle. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. There's Calistri, and that is an intriguing call upcoming. What's it going to be from the referee? They are pleading a potential denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, but it'll be only a yellow card as he's pointing to the players on the other side of the pitch that may have been between him and the goal.
I think that might be the right decision there from referee Luis Guardia. There might have been cover. Let's have a look. He's through Calistri. He gets pulled back. That's a definite yellow at least. Is there any cover? Is there any other defender who can get to Joey Calistri? It's hard to see from that angle, but if the referee believes there is, then the yellow card is the correct decision. Very risky though from Tony Leon.
So Leon into the book here in the opening quarter of an hour. Rick Sean's talking with the 4th official as well.
He's probably saying there wasn't cover. Whatever cover was there wouldn't have been able to get around in time, and that might be a valid argument, but for the referee, he's got an immediate look at it. He doesn't have the benefit of any replays. He certainly doesn't have the benefit of VAR, and if there's any doubt, then he has to go with the lesser of the 2 punishments. They did have a red card in their last match. Traore getting sent off for Las Vegas Lights, and very, very close there for Tony Leon.
This is an interesting spot. Just a 2-man wall. Quinn will curl this in. Good service! And there's the finish! It's Santi Moar for Phoenix Rising again! And they double their advantage. It's 2-0.
Well, Joey Calistri was through and he was almost certain to score. You would have thought they got the free kick and they scored anyway. That is the power of this side, so difficult to stop them. Santi Moa, which is a surprise for him to get a header. Normally you expect him to use his feet, but just soars up above there. Poor defending again from Las Vegas Lights for the cross ball. They were let off the hook a little bit earlier when Joey Calistri was unmarked and got a header. Have a look here. Santi Moa, ball comes in. Someone's got to be pushing against his shoulder, making it difficult for him to get the balance. But then maybe again it's a wonderful free kick whipped in. Doesn't give the defenders time, and Santi Moa gets another goal. What is it? He's 12th of the season.
That goal is presented by Arizona Federal Credit Union. What a season it has been for Santi Moar. He scored 11 goals in 2019 with New Mexico United, so this is now a career high in a single season for Santi Moar in his pro career. And it's interesting because you go back to last year, he had 2 goals, but he had 8 assists. He was more of the assist man. This year, he has been the goal scorer for this Phoenix Rising side in goal number 12.
A fantastic season, absolutely brilliant. And to get it with the header, you don't expect that as much from Santi Moa. You know how good he is with his feet. But he rose up there and tucked that one away superbly well. And again, we did suggest early on that Las Vegas need to focus on defensive duties more than trying to get goals back. I'm not saying they shouldn't attack, but they just have to. They just can't allow headers in. They nearly got caught there anyway with that counter attack, and it was so close to a red card, and that would have made it an almost impossible task for the Lights. So all in all, again, you do worry that this could be a big scoreline. And it's not like Phoenix will let them off the hook. They're hungry. They want goals. They want to impress the manager, like that man there. Ryan Flood coming in for Tate Schmidt. There's players here who are still fighting for their place.
Rodriguez. It's down the line for Beccaro. We'll try to find a silver lining here for Las Vegas Lights. Danny Musovski has scored a goal to make it 2-1 for LAFC over Austin FC. So he has contributed to Las Vegas and now contributing to the first team as well. Here's Moar. Plays this to the top of the box. A curling effort in by Quinn is saved by Rando.
I don't know if Aidan Quinn was trying to pass the ball there, because if it's a shot, it wasn't a very hard one, and he's got a wonderful left foot. If he wanted to shoot, he would have thumped that. So I'm assuming that he was trying to thread a ball in there for one of the players ahead of him. Didn't quite work out. Look at the press here. Look at these red shirts. They're just making it so difficult for Las Vegas Lights to play out. They get turnover ball. They put the pressure on. This is how this match is likely to keep going. It's going to be a long, tough game for these young lads at Las Vegas Lights.
There's Trejo stepping in the way. Heavy touch will concede possession. Here's Moar. He was in an offside position. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership.
You just wonder how much work Andre Rawls is going to get in that Phoenix goal this evening.
Here's Presto again, getting in behind. Cross comes in. Presto get another chance. Towards the top of the box. Keep this moving. King there defending. Heavy touch will put this out. It's now a few times, though, that Presto's gotten in behind Ryan Flood at left back.
Yeah, Flood's playing almost like a left winger, pushing right up there and leaving acres of space behind him. That's the gamble they take, Phoenix. They push their fullbacks up almost like wingers, and they challenge you. And so if you want to go into that space, it means that you'll leave space for us to go in, and we will get more benefits from it. It's a risky maneuver, but if you look at the shots on target, there's no arguing that they absolutely hammer teams. They take risks and they do concede. In fact, they've conceded 9 goals in the last 4 games, which is not ideal as you're heading towards the playoffs. You want to get your defense tighter and tighter as you get to playoffs, but that's Phoenix Rising. They bomb forward, and it's why Wild Horse Pass has such a big crowd so often, is they just love the positive attacking football of Rick Shantz and his team.
And they win by an average of over 2 goals on their home field. They are 8-0-3. Yet to lose here at home.
You don't think tonight is going to be that night?
Well, over the weekend should be an interesting fixture as Orange County comes to town again.
Yeah, that's a huge match, and it's always a big clash. I think it was 1-1, and was a late Phoenix goal actually that got them the draw.
And stoppage time. Here's the free kick for Las Vegas. A foul will send it right back to Phoenix.
I think that the challenge for Las Vegas Lights is, and against Orange County, they had some lovely football at times, but they only had 1 shot on target, whereas Orange County had 12. So yes, you know, down the right-hand side, Presto's look sharp, but has there been an end product? Has Andre Rawls had to really make a difficult save? And this has been the issue with some of their recent games. At home to Sac Republic, at home they only had 1 shot on target. At home to Oakland, they had 2 shots on target. They need more than this, Las Vegas Lights.
Here comes Phoenix again. Calistri cutting in field, had his shot blocked down, got back to his feet, couldn't win it back. That was Uche that went down behind the play.
It either hit him in the stomach and winded him, or it hit him elsewhere extremely painful. Either way, he hasn't been able to get up yet.
I'd say just give him some space.
That happened to me a few times In my career, and the crowds back at Manchester would sing certain songs and find it very, very funny while you were lying in absolute agony.
There's a look at Steve Chirundle. Also take another look at this replay. Yep.
That is not fun. But it's a difficult one for Steve Chirundle. We had a look at him there, and what a wonderful player, by the way, he was for the USA. I believe inducted into the Hall of Fame recently, and well deserved. And he's got a situation where he's got to try and develop these young players under difficult circumstances against teams like Phoenix Rising that are full of top quality USL players and very mature players as well. It's a tough task, and it must be very difficult at times when it's loss after loss after loss. But who better to lead these players to a professional career than someone who had a wonderful career himself?
Here's Presto. Bring this in behind again. This has been a tough run of form for Las Vegas. They have lost 8 straight. They are 9 winless. This is already their 5th game in the month of September. It is September 15th, so the games have been coming thick and fast for this Las Vegas Lights side. They're just trying to roll with the punches right now.
Yeah, they've conceded 58 goals, which is way above the most in the entire USL. So it's those who've conceded the most, Las Vegas Lights, against those who've scored the most. So it was always going to be, you would think, a one-sided game. Let's hope for Las Vegas Lights they can maybe score a goal and make a game of it.
They did score last time they were here against Phoenix Rising. There's Roberto Molina. In swinger, deflecting in! And there is that goal for Las Vegas Lights. I'm not sure who got the last touch. Molina might claim it, but Vegas have cut the deficit in half.
Well done, Las Vegas Lights. Brilliant to those youngsters. Beautiful ball in. We said what a wonderful left foot this Roberto Molina has. And he bent that in. He knew that if no one touched it, the keeper would have to make a save. If they did touch it, the keeper would have to make a save anyway. Look how it bends in. And it is a header that makes the difference there. Absolutely fantastic. I think it was Julian Vasquez. It is Julian Vasquez who gets the header for his first goal of the season. So well done to the Lights. After a tough first 25 minutes, they're back in the match.
And that is their first goal since going all the way back to September 5th against Sacramento in the 12th minute when Christopher Jaime scored. So it has been close to 3 games without a goal in terms of minutes. They finally get one here, completely against the run of play. And now another free kick for Phoenix. It's curled in, Rando gonna make the catch.
Very good. Rando comes out and plucks it out there and just calms everything down for his team, as he did against Orange County on so many occasions.
It's never too early to get ahead of the 2022 season. Place your deposit and still get in on this season's action with 4 complimentary tickets. Deposits starting at $50 per account. As here comes Phoenix Rising again. Beccaro into the middle for Moar, who just lost out. And this cleared away. You can contact sales at phxrisingfc.com or visit phxrisingfc.com/tickets for more information. One back in a good area. Arturo Rodriguez! He did it all himself and fired it past Rando for goal number 3.
There's a turnover ball again. They're trying to play out from the back. No, it's wonderful to do, Las Vegas Lights, if you can pull it off, but all they're doing, Phoenix Rising, is they're hunting around the edge of their box, closing down Lights, making them make mistakes and get turnover ball. And when they do, then Arturo Rodriguez for example, jumps it and just smashed that into the back of the net. Lovely finish. Great turnover ball. Have a look. They're trying to play out. Nips in, takes it, does a dummy there, and then smash. What a finish past Alex Rando. And once again, Phoenix Rising have that 2-goal gap. They're just too powerful going forward for Las Vegas Lights. Well done, Arturo Rodriguez.
That goal brought to you by Arizona Federal Credit Union. Arturo Rodriguez, his second goal on the season. And now for Las Vegas Lights FC, the 11th time this season they have conceded 3 or more goals in a game. If you're Rick Schantz, you have to like that response after conceding.
Absolutely, it is the perfect response, but you do feel there's more to come from this Phoenix side. They're just too powerful, too strong. They're putting too much pressure, and Las Vegas Lights are trying to play through the pressure, which is admirable. But if you lose the ball on the edge of your box, it leaves you extremely vulnerable, as we saw there with that Arturo Rodriguez finish.
So just past the half-hour mark, and it's been a barrage of Phoenix goals.
Plus the one Las Vegas Lights goal. Again, great credit to these youngsters that they managed to fashion a goal there from that set piece. That wonderful left foot of their captain, Roberto Molina.
Flood. He can hit a ball like that. Earlier this season, he rang the crossbar from a similar distance, and trying an effort there.
Again, he's in a good battle for that left back spot with Tate Schmidt, the local lad. And so, of course, he's trying to impress his manager by sticking one in the top corner from 30 yards out. Didn't quite work out for him. And again, trying that tricky, dangerous ball, playing out the back, look, turnover. Just puts you under pressure.
Here's the cross. And Calistri's glancing header taken by Rando. Two clubs battling over the Atlantic Division's final playoff spot takes center stage when the USL on ESPN continues. Charlotte Independence travels north to Dillon Stadium to take on Hartford Athletic Thursday, September 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. It was, of course, Hartford Athletic taking a 2-0 win over Real Monarchs earlier tonight. Plenty of intriguing results around the USL. As we speak, Switchbacks in El Paso finish 0-0.
Ooh, top of the table clash there in the Mountain Division.
Switchbacks held off the score sheet. Don't see that often from that side. Currently it's Oakland 2, Tacoma 1.
Ooh, that's a massive. If Oakland win that, they're suddenly, I think, 3 points behind Tacoma. And they might still make the playoffs. If they do, it'll be the story of the season, because Oakland Roots was so far adrift of everyone about a month and a half ago. I think they won one match the entire season.
Collision of players, and the ball falls for Rando. The whistle will stop play.
Yeah, the two Las Vegas Lights players clashed, and I think one is holding his face as if there might be some blood. And when the referee waves his arms like that, it's because he can see damage as well. So let's hope both players are okay.
It's been a tough night for CC Uche so far. Looks like there is some blood on Tony Leon as well. You can see it on his hand.
They both clashed here. They both went sort of for the header. Unfortunately, there was enough power in it to get it back to the keeper. This is how you toughen up as a young player. Tony Leon there, just 17 years of age, and Steve Girondelou's been there. He's had the head wounds, he's had the knocks and the injuries. He knows that these young 17 and 16-year-old players have to toughen up, and this is the way to do it. But they're being put under such pressure. There's nice. Becerro just coming and saying, I hope you're okay. But they're not being allowed to play out the back, and they're refusing to knock the long ball. They're trying to play out, and there's just constant turnover ball on the edge of their box, Las Vegas Lights. Just wondering whether Steve Girondelou will try and change things up at half-time and maybe knock balls longer and wider. That doesn't seem to be the style of LAFC, so you don't expect Las Vegas Lights to do that. It doesn't get any easier for these young men. They've got San Diego at home next. Oakland away. With the way Oakland are playing, it's a tough one. And LA Galaxy home. At least against San Diego, Steve Cherundolo and Landon Donovan can have a good chat about old times.
No doubt about that.
Great to see him up on his feet. CC Uche. Doesn't look that happy about it, does he? And Vaquero once again coming across, and it's a nice touch. Problem with concussion, it can leave you a little bit dizzy or woozy or unsure about whether you should continue or not. So I think if there's any doubt whatsoever, I'd rather play safe.
It's something that CC Uche has dealt with this year. Being a game against Sacramento with a head injury. And you hope for the best for him here. And still looks like Tony Leon also being treated for a cut on his head.
Are they going to continue while both centre backs are off the pitch? That would be surprising. I think the referee's going to have to hold, and otherwise they'll be down to 9 men with no one in the middle of the defense. Maybe that's why Alex Rando is saying push up. I'm going to just boot the ball down the pitch. Otherwise, we're going to be too vulnerable at the back.
He sends this long downfield. Looks like Molina and Sepulveda are the makeshift center backs at the moment until Leon and Uche can come back on.
It was tough with 11 men if you're Las Vegas Lights, but
No
seriously,
kidding.
9 men at Wild Horse Pass against this side.
Plays through the lines. It's Santi Moar. Cutting in field. Moar somehow gets this away. That's a great save. And there's the finish. But it's offside.
Wow. Good save, by the way, from the goalkeeper, and I'm assuming the follow-up was offside, and therefore Alex Rando has made a vital save. There's just too much space, too easy to play the ball through. Santimoa could have gone down, didn't. Goalkeeper, great save. And it's difficult for us to say whether that's an offside or not, but at this point here, Santimoa doing really well. Yes, it is offside. He stood on the 6-yard line. Good decision, assistant ref. Well done.
There is Uche coming back on for Vegas. That's good to see. Looks like Leon still in the technical area. Have you ever had to get stitched up on the field?
Not on the field, no. They just put, back in the day, just put bandages on stuff and you played on it. Then you get stitched up afterwards. And there was no concussion protocol back in the 80s, so if you got banged on the head, as long as you could sort of see half straight, you just kept on playing.
Awkward here at the back and taken by Rando. Don't forget, if you can't make it to the game, you can watch Phoenix Rising Soccer live on CW61 Arizona and channel 1006, or stream it live on the ABC 15 app on Roku and other streaming platforms. CW61 Arizona, your home for Phoenix Rising. We'll be back on CW61 Arizona this weekend as Phoenix welcomes in Orange County.
Yeah, they've got that home game to Orange County. Then I think there's 3 games away from home: Tacoma, LA Galaxy, and Orange County. So they'll be on the road. And their road form not quite as good as their home form, Phoenix.
Played in behind. It's Vaquero. Couldn't quite get around Rando. Still Rando all the way outside of his goal. Good job by Uche just to get anything on that he could and put it out for a corner.
It's good player game from Rando. We said at the start, but for him, they would have got smashed at Orange County. He kept the score down. Well, he's doing the same here again today. That save from Asante a few minutes ago from the offside goal. What a good save that was. 1-on-1 now, and he stands up. He certainly is getting plenty of practice in that goal, Alex Rando.
Quinn curls it in. Uche there to meet it. Melina failed clearance. Here's Flood. Loves it on that left foot. Flood! Saved! Remember the first one snuck through Rando like that. That one not quite.
It's a good save from Alex Rando, but it did sort of sneak away from his hands under his body. He did well to sort of grab it at the second attempt. Good shot, though, from Flood.
And the shots already ballooning for Phoenix, up to 11 in this first half. Remember, they had 41 in the first home match against Vegas. That was a USL Championship record. Challenge there by King. And the referee says he got it just right. It's Jaime who remains down. Phoenix will put this out of play with the players still down. 5 minutes to go in this first half. Jaime's still down.
He seems to be struggling just by the way he's responding. I'm just wondering whether there was a tackle there, whether there was contact. This is Ryan Flood's effort. Have a look here, Alex Rando drop. It goes under his body and he turns around and gets it. So it's a save. It's a save that probably gave his manager a heart attack for a moment. But again, the goalkeeper has been up to almost everything thrown at him. Now, some things you can't save as a keeper. And by the way, good to see Jaime getting up.
I feel like Flood is keen to find the back of the net at some point this season.
Well, Jaime not walking too comfortably as yet, so we'll keep an eye on that. There are some subs on the bench for Las Vegas Lights that they can turn to if required. Tristan Weber played it right back against Orange County. They could put him on and push him up slightly. Frank DeRoma could play in that attacking left side if required.
Flood. Now Moar. Switch of play for Calistri.
Good ball. By the way, looking at the bench, if I got a typo here, I have a player who is 37 years of age when the average age is something like 17. One player only.
Dekel Kainen, he was just signed a couple days ago. The Israeli. Spent the last couple of years with Sacramento Republic, time in Israel with Maccabi Haifa, along with a couple of clubs in England.
Yeah, 37. I think you could add all the youngsters' ages together, you wouldn't get to 37. Well, obviously he's been brought in for the experience and to teach the youngsters how to be a good professional. And you do need those sort of characters in your locker room when you have such a young side.
Shot comes in, and there's Rawls to make the save. We didn't know how much he'd have to do tonight, but called it action there. Can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC channel 157, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Meola, Rodney Marsh, and USL All Access with Mike Watts and Devin Kerr every Tuesday at 7 Eastern. You can also hear live action from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the app.
Nice little bit of football here from the young men of Las Vegas Lights.
Quinn there just to stab it away.
But it could have been a lot worse for the Lights. They have scored one, and great credit to them for that. Lovely goal from that set piece. Alex Rando's made a couple of saves, and at 3-1, you can live with that. If it gets, if it had been 4 or 5-1 in the first half, then you've got a really torrid second half coming. That man with the ball there, Alex Rando, some really crucial saves, one-on-one against players running through, tipping things onto the post, making fantastic saves from Ryan Flood rockets. So it hasn't been the worst first half for these young guys. Battle here, and that's part of what their professional learning is all about.
Nearly another error at the back as Uche had a missed touch. There's Leon, who's now has a headband around his head, but gives this away. Calistri drives it in, and Rando makes a fantastic save.
Fantastic save, it certainly is from Alex Rando, and it's turnover ball yet again at the back. They're bad passes to make, risky ones, and straight to a red shirt as well, and Calistri's really hit that well. But you can't make those sort of mistakes at the back without getting punished, and the goalkeeper once again saving the day for Las Vegas Lights.
3 minutes of stoppage time, and here's another Carvana corner that swung in. Baquero off the post! Just a glancing header from the near post. He couldn't squeeze it in.
Wow. I mean, firstly, Calistri nearly bombs one in the top corner. Keeper makes a great save. Then from the resulting corner, they hit the post. Well, they really have put so much pressure on Las Vegas Lights. It's a surprise it's only 3-1.
Here comes Calistri. Now Moar. Sending this back in. Sepulveda got a touch on it. Rodriguez deflecting, and Rando was taking no chances. Corner kick, Phoenix.
He's probably going to sit down at halftime. You can see there, just breathing out. He's probably going to go for a rest at halftime. He's had a very busy first half, that man in blue.
7 saves now for Alex Rando. Quinn curls in again. Lena will knock this clear. King just sends it out of play.
I think the Las Vegas Lights youngsters will enjoy this halftime break just to be able to get a little bit of a breather and get some words of advice from Steve Cherundolo.
And we have reached the 15-minute intermission. I think. Not quite. Thought that'd be a little bit early. Still a few more seconds left in this first half.
Plenty red shirts in that Las Vegas half. Look at that turnover ball again. Done a very, very good job with their high press, Phoenix Rising.
Long over the top from Musa. There's Moar. Maybe a chance for one more. Here's the shot. It's wide.
That's a good strike as well, isn't it? From Arturo Rodriguez, just wide.
Arturo Rodriguez almost sent us into halftime with something to remember, but still a memorable first 45 minutes, 3-1 to Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, it could have been 4 or 5 or 6. To be fair, Alex Rando's made some great saves. The high press from Phoenix Rising has resulted in a whole bunch of turnover ball on the edge of that Las Vegas Lights box. And my only concern is the second half. It might get even tougher for these young stars of Las Vegas.
Now the team's heading into the locker room for a 15-minute break. It has been an intriguing first 45 minutes here from Wild Horse Pass. It's been all Phoenix Rising. Vegas was able to pull one back, but Phoenix so far has just been too much. It's halftime here from Chandler. It's Phoenix 3. It's Las Vegas 1.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Pacific Office Automation is the one source for all of your business technology. Copiers and printers. Managed IT and cloud services. Unified communications and telephones. Security systems and cameras. Complete conference room packages. You need to partner with a total office solutions provider that gets it. Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved.
Welcome back to halftime at Wild Horse Pass. Phoenix Rising 3, Las Vegas Lights 1. Well, let's look at what is to come for this Phoenix Rising side. Of course, Orange County is coming to town this weekend, and then 3 on the road before they come back home for that Oakland Roots match.
Ooh, that could be a match and a half, Oakland Roots. The way they are playing at the moment, they're on fire. Orange County, both those games will be tough. The two in the middle, Tacoma Defiance and, well, mind you, LA Galaxy, they struggled to beat them 4-3 in the last match, so I guess that could be tough as well.
We will see how Phoenix can manage these next few games, especially away from home. As for Las Vegas Lights, won't get much easier as they take on San Diego Loyal coming up next, and then they have to go to Oakland.
Yeah, I think every match is tough for Las Vegas Lights at the moment. These youngsters, they're learning their trade, and San Diego Loyal's a very good side. Oakland Roots are just almost impossible to play against at the moment. LA Galaxy 2 will have their own youngsters as well, but they're a solid outfit, as Phoenix Rising found out with their 4-3 last-minute win. Tacoma Defiance have been in good form. So yeah, but I think for Las Vegas Lights, they just learn every game and they just try and keep improving.
It's been a celebratory mood there in the south end tonight at Wild Horse Pass. It's Phoenix 3, it's Las Vegas 1. Halftime rolling on.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Tees it up, what a strike
right-footed shot, and it's in! Knocked away. Looking for Para, could fall for an opportunity here. The shot comes in! Oh, it's brilliant!
I did get an interesting text from someone in the Phoenix organization talking about how big and physical that game was, and maybe they didn't necessarily know it was going to be just like that. I think they got a good taste. By the way, in case you're wondering, Forrest Lasso is competing for the Summer Olympics in gymnastics. Just wanted you to know. What you got next?
Lee Cohen, he was part of that routine.
Bring it to me.
Forrest Lasso, the defender of the year, leaping over the ad boards and pirouetting his way toward the dugout.
The unknown is not empty. It's a storm that crashes and consumes, replacing thought with worry. But one thing can calm uncertainty: an answer. Uncovered through exploration, teamwork, and innovation. An answer that leads to even more answers. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
Halftime here in the Valley. It is Phoenix Rising 3. It's Las Vegas Lights 1. Time to look at news and notes from around the USL Championship. We are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. And the USL and ESPN Deportes return September 30th as Hartford takes on Charlotte.
What a match that will be, and that one could define who does get that 4th place in the Atlantic Division. Hartford need a win. They're only 4 points behind Charlotte after their win this evening. But if Charlotte win that, they might be uncatchable.
And the Clear Audio Player of the Week is Jan Ekra. Here's the Clear Audio Team of the Week. And, of course, Aiden Quinn cracks the 11 because of his performance last week in getting to 35 goals, 35 assists.
Yeah, but he's alongside some other wonderful players at the moment. Marveau got a double there for Charlotte. Conrado Form's got a double for Pittsburgh. Irvin Parra also for Charlotte. Sebastian Guenzardi keeps on scoring for Tampa Bay. And Francois, I think, got 2 for Miami. So, wow, those are some top-class players there.
Speaking of the World Cup qualifiers, there's been plenty who have come through the USL, whether it be League 2, League 1, or the Championship, that participated in World Cup qualifying this last cycle.
Look at that, 260. How good is the USL to have provided 260 combined caps? I mean, that's just top class. It just shows you how good this level at the USL is.
And all 4 of those players are big pieces for Greg Berhalter's side. A look at the Pacific Division standings coming into tonight. As things stand, Phoenix Rising would be the first team to 50 points.
Yep, they'll be top of the entire USL. For Las Vegas Lights, of course, still stuck at the bottom with their goal difference going south all the time. But as mentioned, as the players learn, if they can improve, then that is the progress that Las Vegas Lights are looking for. Phoenix Rising, they must just be professional in the second half. They can't switch off. They've got to keep on going.
And the sprinklers on, watering down the field. I'm sure that feels nice on a warm Chandler, Arizona evening. We'll be back. The second half is on the way.
When we started Carvana, they told us that selling cars 100% online wouldn't work. But we went to work, building an experience that lets you shop over 17,000 cars from home, creating a coast-to-coast network to deliver your car as soon as tomorrow, recruiting an army of customer advocates to make your experience incredible, and putting you in control of the whole thing with powerful technology. That's why we've become the nation's fastest growing retailer, because our customers love it. See for yourself at Carvana.com.
Does anyone really understand kids? Phoenix Children's does. And as they grow, our pediatricians are with them, and you, every step of the way. Phoenix Children's. Meet our pediatricians.
It starts off with a little seed, and with a little love from nature, it sprouts to life. And when delicious fresh fruits and veggies are perfect, they are rushed to the home of fresh. Sprouts, where goodness grows.
Starting at only $15 per ticket. Meet any occasion.
Back here at Wild Horse Pass, gearing up for the second 45 minutes of action. It's Phoenix 3, it's Las Vegas 1. Let's look back on the first 45 minutes of action with our first half highlights presented by Sprouts, and plenty of goals to show you. It started right off the bat, second minute for the second time this season for Phoenix against Vegas, and kind of a theme, a giveaway at the back.
Yeah, high pressure from Phoenix Rising. They took advantage of the giveaway. Aiden Quinn is through, and he hits it. Alex Rando makes a sort of a save, but it's not enough to keep the ball out the back of the net, and that was pretty much how it would go for the whole first half. Phoenix Rising pressurizing, getting turnover ball, and trying to take advantage of it.
So Quinn gets another one against Vegas this season, and then he'd get an assist.
Yeah, beautiful ball in. Lovely header from Asante, by the way. Poor defending from Las Vegas Lights, but let's give credit for the quality of the ball in and the quality of the header.
So that made it 2-0 to Phoenix Rising, and you thought, all right, everything is going great, but Vegas would have a response.
It's a beautiful ball in for Roberto Molina, and Julian Vasquez just gets the faintest of touches. Not much that Andre Rawls can do about that, and suddenly these youngsters, after being hammered, were back in the match, but it didn't last too long.
28th minute, another chance would come for Phoenix, and
pressure again, edge of the box, turnover ball, Arturo Rodriguez, nice little dummy there, and wallop pass, Alex Rando. Take that, and they've got their 2-goal lead back again.
Second goal of the season for Arturo Rodriguez, and Phoenix taking that 3-1 lead into halftime. A look at the halftime stats presented by Sprouts. 14 shots to 4, and they're, I guess, on their way to 41 like they had in the first matchup here at Wild Horse Pass.
Yeah, they're on their way. I think the shots on target from Las Vegas Lights, they've got 3 on target from their 4 shots, which is a very good return, 75% return. But overall, 3 shots is not that many when you consider the opposition has had 9. Phoenix Rising have hit the post, they've hit the crossbar, they've had things pulled off the line. The keeper's made a ton of saves, so 3-1 is, it could easily have been 5 or 6, to be honest, and that's what makes the second half a big one for Las Vegas Lights. They've got to keep on fighting to keep themselves in this game, otherwise it could be a pasting.
So gearing up for the second 45 minutes of action with former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks for being with us tonight.
By the way, another stat for you, 16 crosses for that team in red, 6 crosses for Las Vegas Lights. So no question that Phoenix Rising are whipping the balls in, making it difficult for the Las Vegas Lights defense. But to be fair, Lights have had a few little moments themselves. Dylan Presta, I think, of those 6 crosses, probably 2 or 3 is just him alone down that right-hand side early on in the game. But the problem here is Phoenix Rising will keep on going. They're all fighting for their places, trying to impress their coach, Rick Shantz. They're trying to get ready for the playoffs. So I guess Alex Rando is going to have a busy second half.
We'll see what this second half brings. Phoenix, I'm sure, will like to keep their foot on the gas. And there's a look at John Beccaro, and of course he is wearing the captain's armband tonight, and in collaboration with Phoenix Children's during September to raise awareness of the importance of mental health awareness during Suicide Prevention Month. They are, all the captains, or at least Phoenix Rising, wearing those special armbands. So good to see from Phoenix Rising here in this month. And the second half is underway. Glad you can be with us tonight. And it has been all Phoenix so far through 45 minutes. What will the second half bring? No subs here as we start this second half.
I'm sure we'll see subs as we do every match in the second half as it goes on. Around about the 60th minute, managers start to make changes. Not so sure there's much that Las Vegas Lights can do to change things, because either way they're up against the might of Phoenix Rising. Certainly from a Phoenix point of view, I think every fan in the stadium is hoping to see Solomon Asante second half. You've got David Egbo on the bench. Prince Sadie can come on and do a little bit. You've got new signing David Lura.
Played through for Beccaro. Trying to put that in the middle. It was blocked down.
I just thought he could have had a shot there, Beccaro. I mean, he was in a position to test the goalkeeper. Maybe he thought there was a better option inside the box, but again, on the offensive already and causing problems of Phoenix Rising.
So a Carvana corner kick here for Phoenix. And it will be Aiden Quinn. And if you see number 64, that is Tony Leon, not wearing his normal 28. Remember, he got a cut on his head. He got blood on his original jersey and the backup jersey. So having to move on to jersey number 3. Here's the service in.
Oh.
And the header just over the bar. Musa was there, or might have actually been Madrid.
Yeah, once again from a set piece, just Phoenix way too powerful and strong, and Las Vegas Lights not able to do the marking they should do. Santimoa got his goal from a cross from a set piece, and Manuel Madrid gets there and just can't quite keep the header down. He looks up in frustration. He doesn't score too many goals, and that was a wonderful opportunity to have hit the back of the net.
And there is Tony Leon wearing the new number 64. 17-year-old will jog back on.
Just wonder if Steve Cherundolo has given them a little bit of an idea of how to play out of the back and maybe not take as many risks.
Lambert trying to find space for Beccaro again. Falls kindly for Calistri. Dancing on the ball. Finally gets the shot away. Bounce out for a throw-in.
Puts his hand up straight away to say, look, I saw you there, John Beccaro, and I could have passed you, but thought I could do it on my own. So nice to see that the teammates understand each other and apologize when things don't quite work out.
Potentially a long throw in here coming from Darnell King. Flicked along. Moar still going. Moar fizzled that across the 6, and nobody could redirect it towards goal. It's out for a goal kick.
He went from one side of the pitch all the way to the other. Santimoa there nearly found John Beccaro in the middle. Look again, the red shirts on the edge of the box. Are they going to try and play out, or they're going to try and go a little bit longer? That was what I was going to say. I would have thought Steve Cherundolo might have said to him, look, you know, if you're under too much pressure, just knock the ball towards the halfway line, but don't try silly, dangerous balls across the box. So we'll see if that is the advice given, and it does seem like the goalkeeper is going a little bit longer.
Just trying for probably damage limitation at this point.
Yep. Well, you can't keep doing the thing that gives Phoenix Rising free shots on target. You've got to stop. You've got to see that it's not working and go longer, which seems to be the case here with Alex Rando. Everything seems to be longer, and that's sensible. Get it in the other half and then just maybe try and pick up from the knockdowns.
Let's hear what Rick Schantz had to say at halftime.
I was really pleased with our defensive intensity. I thought that, you know, we didn't allow them to play out of the back at all. We really took the middle of the field away from them. You know, scored a couple of really good goals. I was a little disappointed that we gave up a goal on a set piece, but the response was fantastic. Arturo's been really, really good for us with Kev on the right-hand side, and I think Ryan is starting to get into the game a little bit. But the biggest thing for us now is focus and keep everybody healthy and maybe get another goal.
It's always good to hear from the head man. Those were his thoughts, and it's interesting to, I guess, hear that he liked the defensive performance, because you take out Joey Farrell because of suspension, you plug in Manuel Madrid, and I guess no harm done except for the set piece goal.
Yeah, and he was also talking about the pressure they applied on the edge of Las Vegas's box there, and that really has been and still is. Look at the pressure here that they keep on applying. It's top class work. But I guess if you're a manager whose team keeps winning, it's not the most difficult halftime chat to give. I'm sure there's many a manager in the USL would love to be in Rick Schantz's shoes and be able to talk about scoring 3 times and how you're mildly annoyed by the 1 goal that went in.
Rodriguez rolls it out wide for Calistri. King. Moar scoops it forward for King, who continued his run. Good job to win that back quickly. Ahead, Calistri, and it's knocked out of play. Armando Avila there to knock it away for a corner.
I think the words of Rick Schantz probably at halftime was to his players, don't let up. We need to keep our attitude, our sort of hard work ethic going, because the playoffs are around the corner. Let's not get to the playoffs all relaxed and taking it easy and having fun. Let's get to the playoffs as a solid team who doesn't give the opposition a moment's respite.
There's Aiden Quinn for another corner kick. They've been dangerous on set pieces tonight. Usually it's Joey Farrell who's so good from these corner kicks. He's flipped in back post, and it was Lambert who was up for it, scored a similar goal over the weekend.
He did. Almost identical goal. A header at the far post against LA Galaxy 2.
Entering the match is number 30, David Luera.
And it will be a sub here for Phoenix Rising. Aiden Quinn will make way. David Luera, the 23-year-old, will make his second appearance and first home appearance here for Phoenix Rising on loan from Orlando City.
He's a player who Rick Schantz said is a sort of player who's got the skills to break down teams that sit in a low block. Now, Las Vegas don't do that. They're an attacking side. But when it comes to playoff time, a lot of teams might just defend against Phoenix Rising and try and say, come and break us down, we'll catch you on the counter. And they've had problems in the past getting through those teams. And this is why this particular player is so important, David Luera. He has the ability to break through these tight defenses. I just hope we do see Solo Asante at some stage. I think this crowd, even if they just see him for a couple of minutes at the end, that'll really just make their day.
Here is Luera. And now Beccaro. Luera continued his run. Beccaro on the volley. Sends it out of play.
It wasn't too far away, but he's hit that. He's actually caught that superbly, Beccaro.
And here are the subs for Las Vegas Lights. Frank Jeroma, Tristan Weber will come on. It'll be CC Uche and Christian Torres to make way.
Entering the match is number 20, Frank Jeroma. Leaving the match is number 21, Christian Torres.
So there are the two subs. First of the match for Las Vegas. Arizona Complete Health is the exclusive health plan partner of Phoenix Rising Football Club, providing each member the tools they need to successfully manage their own health. No matter your age or stage in life, Arizona Complete Health has you covered. Played into the corner now. Weber just onto the field. To the top of the box, and Jaime Little turn there from Jaime. Of course, Lambert got his foot stuck in there to win it back for Phoenix. And here they come on the attack. Luera. One Spaniard out wide for another. And Becerro sends this out of play.
Wasn't his finest moment there, Becerro. He's done so well, but that was a cross that just went absolutely nowhere. You can see the energy that David Luera has brought onto the pitch. Sharp, running around. Looks like a really useful player to add to the list of great players at Phoenix Rising.
And Rick Schantz also mentioned this week that being efficient in clinching a playoff spot 1 and trying to finish at the top of this Pacific Division is so important. And of course, they want home field throughout the playoffs, but so he can kind of tinker with his side and really find that best 11 now with these 2 new midfielders coming into the lineup here for Rising.
It gives him a lot of options, not just for the starting 11, but for what he can bring off the bench, how he can change a match, impact a game. As I say, as much as he wants to win every one of these games, he's probably got half an eye on, you know, the playoffs here against top sides like the Orange Counties of the world, perhaps San Diego's, and then eventually onto the other side against a Lou City or a Tampa Bay Rowdies. So while his focus is on game by game, there's probably a little part of his mind that is already thinking ahead.
Now here's Flood. Curling one in, bouncing through for Calistri. We'll put it back into the middle. Big save, Rando. Becerro's there, and for the second time tonight, he bangs one off the post.
That's another fantastic save from Alex Rando. David Luera must have thought he'd already scored within minutes of coming on for his home debut. And the goalkeeper pulls out another top-class save. We said it at the start, but for him, they could have got thumped at Orange County. Well, but for him, and that save there would have been a lot more. Wow, great save. David Luera was already turning to celebrate, I think. and then a header against the post as well.
Long over the top and bouncing out of play. Moar. Long diagonal for Calistri. Might have been clipped, and it runs through for Rando.
I think Calistri was waiting for the contact and it didn't really come. He thought he was going to be brought down, took his eye off the ball. And actually there wasn't much contact in the end. But once again, just almost too easy for Phoenix Rising to get behind the Las Vegas Lights defense.
Well, it is time for the Sonic Happy Hour, brought to you by Sonic. If a Rising player scores during the 60th minute, one lucky fan will win a $500 Sonic gift card. For more info, visit phxrisingfc.com/Sonic. Here's Lambert. Slip through for Becerro. Lays this back for Moar. Back for Becerro. The cross spilled in front. And now Arturo Rodriguez. Rodriguez weaving through. His shot also blocked. Now Luera and Flood. It'll be Luera who picks it up. Becerro will curl one in and send it out of play, and nearly
so
the Sonic
close.
Happy Hour.
Alex Rando, another save. Las Vegas Lights are just clinging on here. The ball's getting played around so well. The keeper just pushes out. It could have gone to Santimo, or it didn't. And they were just around the edge of the box looking for that opportunity. And I guess if you're a Phoenix Rising fan, you're probably almost disappointed with this result, because it could so easily have been 5 or 6. Not that you'd want that to happen to this wonderful Las Vegas Lights group of youngsters, but that's what it could have been. Rando's just made save after save after save, and to be honest, there's a little bit of luck involved, because those saves could have gone to a red shirt. The ones that have hit the post could have gone in. And I think David Luera is still wondering how he didn't score.
Rando, just like he did in his first match here, his pro debut against Phoenix Rising back in May. 15 saves on that night. And I think he's probably inching close to that again here tonight.
Well, as I mentioned against Orange County in the last match, he made a ton of saves, one after the other. Same sort of thing. And in the end, I think it was the last 5 minutes, Orange County got a couple of goals. They eventually got the breakthrough. Traore was sent off, and there was just too much coming through. And so Orange County won the game quite comfortably in the end, but Alex Rando made them wait until right towards the last few minutes before they were comfortable winners.
Here's King. Calistri keeps it moving for Darnell King. Tries to cut it back, and it's cleared away here by Vegas. And now they'll go long over the top. Trejo was there. Musa. Trejo will keep it. And Musa has to try to fight back into the play. He goes to ground and commits a foul. I think that was more frustration than anything.
Now you see the difference in tactic there. The long ball out of the back from Las Vegas. They didn't take as many risks. They managed to bring the ball down. Now they got a free kick on the edge of the Phoenix Rising box. So it's a better tactic than trying to play risky balls across the back. There's a time to play out of defense, but when the team you're playing against are just too good with a high press, then you have to play it long, and that's what Phoenix Rising are doing in the second half.
Couple of subs coming on for Las Vegas Lights. Ethan Sepulveda will make way for Michael Yeboah.
Michael Yeboah. Leading the match is number 6, Nathan Sepulveda.
Third sub of the night for Steve Cherundolo and Las Vegas Lights. Yeboah will make his 10th appearance. DeRoma will swing this in. No danger. Out wide for Molina. If you're wondering, Alex Rando, 8 saves so far on the night for Las Vegas.
Wow. Most keepers in a match make 1 or 2. 8 saves. You're only 2/3 through the game, and there's plenty more, I think, to come.
Including right now. Here's Rodriguez. Beccaro. Moar. To the end line, sending this through. There's Rodriguez. Flood is an option there. They'll find Ryan Flood. It'll be a throw into Phoenix.
It's almost too easy for Phoenix at times, knocking balls into the box. Santimoa bringing it down, dribbling in the box of Las Vegas. They've got to keep defending Las Vegas. They've got to keep on going. You never know if they get a goal, they're back in this game. Just mustn't concede.
Luera continuing his run. Jaime cut across defensively. Big intervention there, and Flood couldn't keep it. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent and helping players transition to their USL senior teams. For more information, visit usl-academy.com. Now 25 minutes left to go. No goals in this second half so far.
Well, they've come very close. They might not have scored, but Alex Rando's pulled 1 or 2 out. Great saves.
Working on Flood on the far side. Now cutting back. Here's the cross.
That's better from Las Vegas Lights. The moment they stopped taking all those risks at the back, they've looked a much more solid team, and so Phoenix Rising aren't able to press as high because the ball's being played long. There's another example of them switching with a long ball, and it's forced Phoenix Rising onto the back foot a little bit.
Vegas will go quick off the restart. And of course, that goal for Vegas awarded to Julian Vasquez. His first goal for the club. Weber puts this in a good area. Here's top of the box to Roma. Tried to keep it moving. Good chance there for Vegas. And now Phoenix out in transition again. Here's Beccaro.
Look at those red shirts bombing forward.
Lambert. Calistri took him out wide. Here's Beccaro. Moar tried to get his foot stuck in there, couldn't quite do so.
Looking much better, Las Vegas Lights. A lot more solid. Doesn't mean to say that there haven't been chances for Phoenix Rising. There have been, but they're not being overrun like they were at times in that first half.
Jaime trying to put his body in between man and ball, but committed the foul. Looks like Phoenix getting set to make a triple substitution, and the captain is back. Solomon Asante getting set to make his return. He's been out injured since August the 21st when he went out against Sacramento Republic, so about a month out, but he is back. Tate Schmidt and Prince Sadie will also come on.
Is number 20, Solomon Asante.
And a big ovation for the captain Solo. Back in action for Phoenix Rising. Santi Moar, Joey Calistri will both come off as well, along with Kevin Lambert. So you heard Rick Schant say at halftime, just trying to get through this without any injuries, keeping everybody healthy. That's what he's trying to do, taking his big guns off, but still you put in Solomon Asante and one big gun for another.
Well, one huge gun coming on in Solomon Asante. Assuming he's fully fit, he might just take a little while to get his bearings back.
Quick passing here. Rodriguez ahead for Darnell King. Sends the cross through for Sadie. Deflecting around. Vegas trying to clear this only as far as Luera. Asante returns it for Luera. He was shoved away from the ball by Weber. Las Vegas Lights will try to come upfield. Molina was tripped, and a yellow card to Arturo Rodriguez, who obviously does not like the decision.
Got to be careful, Arturo Rodriguez. You can't argue too much. You can't point fingers at referees.
The referee went to his other pocket for a moment. I got nervous.
It wasn't much. There really wasn't. He was trying to pull his hand away, Arturo Rodriguez. But once the referee's made the decision, you can't get in his face or her face. You got to just let it be and move on. But what you've got now is you've got new energy for Phoenix Rising. They were just maybe losing a little bit of their ability to high press. And now Prince Sadie's got fresh legs. Tate Schmidt's got fresh legs. Solomon Asante's up there hunting.
Vasquez. Just being a switch of play for Christopher Jaime. Trejo. Hang there to win it back. And then he gives it right back. Now Roma. Going right through the middle. Phoenix step in and able to win it back. And here they come into the attack. It's Prince Sadie. So smooth on the ball is Sadie to the end line. Fires one in. Big save from Rando, and then it's pushed out of play. And a player down behind the play here for Las Vegas Lights.
That's a phrase I've heard you use a few times. A big save from Alex Rando yet again. Saves the day at the near post. Wonder if that's just cramp.
And that's Presto who is down.
Yeah, he's put in a big shift today, especially early on, bombing down that right-hand side. Once again, Alex Rando with another save. So quick. Have a look at the role that Solomon Asante plays a little 1-2 there, gets it back, turns head up. Within a second, he's got a beautiful ball through to Prince Sadie. And Prince Sadie, I wonder if he could have cut inside on his right, because he goes to his left, minimizes his angle, and the goalkeeper just stands up big and strong at the near post.
Presto, the young 16-year-old, making his 4th appearance, his 3rd start. Looks like he'll be forced to come off, as he looks to be in some pain as he gets back to his feet.
Yeah, doesn't look like he's going to make it any further, and not surprised. He has really worked so hard. He's put so much into this, and that young body probably needs just to recover a little bit.
Substitution will be Javier Romero. 16-year-old off and a 15-year-old on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're saying substitution. In the meantime, here's the corner kick sent in. Musa the flick, and Madrid, he kind of just ran into it and put it over the bar.
Another chance for Madrid. He's not going to get that many chances in most matches, but he wishes he could take one of them.
There is Romero coming on. Fans, be sure to get to Arizona Federal Credit Union to get your Phoenix Rising debit card. It's a great way to support the team. Spread the word, and you can score $100 when you get one. I've got to say, it's the coolest looking debit card I've seen. Visit arizonafederal.org/Phoenix Rising for more information.
There's that different approach this half. Knock the ball long, fight for the ball that comes down. You get it on the halfway line, and you don't lose possession. If you lose possession, it's on the halfway line and not the edge of your box. So much better play by Las Vegas Lights in this second half.
Here's Asante trying to switch the play. Falls for Rodriguez. Becerra was in there too. Now some room through the middle for Las Vegas Lights. Molina. Roberto Molina ahead for Trejo. A big block put in by Manuel Madrid.
Oh, that was on Molina's left foot on the edge of the box. I thought for a moment he was going to let fly, because he has a sort of left foot that could stick it right in the top corner.
There's Luera. Sadie had it poked away from behind.
This is very good play from Las Vegas Lights. I mean, there were times in the first half where I thought second half they could end up getting absolutely thumped here, 5 or 6, but they're actually putting up a really good fight. Credit to them. This age against a team as good as Phoenix Rising, and they're making the men in red work really hard.
Molina fires this shot out of play. The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud. Play it right through the middle. It's now played back for Rawls.
It's now Phoenix Rising who can't get on the ball, and they're having to drop deep and defend, and they're being high pressed by Las Vegas Lights. So it really is an amazing, I won't say turnaround, but a little spell here for the Lights. And they're looking really solid, and credit to their manager for turning this around at half-time.
The cross fizzled through and out for a goal kick. If you're Steve Cherundolo, when you've lost 8 straight matches, you kind of look for these glimpses, I guess you could say, just looking for a silver lining.
Well, this is a silver lining. This has been a much better second half. Really impressed. But still, no matter what you say, you're going to have to thank Alex Rando in goals if you're a Las Vegas Lights player or fan, because but for him it would have been 6 or 7. He has made a ton of exceptional saves.
Played ahead for Asante. Curl this in. It's knocked out for another corner kick.
And if you think about some of the players in this Phoenix side, I mean, in week 20 it was Darren Maddox and Joey Farrell who were on the USL Team of the Week, but Joey Calistri's been there, Andre Rawls has been there, Aidan Quinn. Week 15 it was Arturo Rodriguez, Donnell King, and this team has been receiving accolades all season long.
Rodriguez curls, headed down, still bouncing through. Falls for Tate Schmidt. Dangerous on that left foot, the deflection. Now Solo has his shot blocked. Darnell King curling in. Rando with a scramble back across. And it's deflected out for another corner kick.
There was about 3 occasions there where I thought that was going to hit the back of the net, ending with Solomon Asante having an effort that was blocked as well. So the fans, they don't seem too perturbed whether their team get a 4th or a 5th. They're quite happy at 3-1. Cruising along now, top of the entire USL if this result stands.
This header is out of play. When you're looking for options and hope, when you want world-class medical care and support from experts who can give you the answers you need, you know where to go. Mayo Clinic. Find out more at mayoclinic.org/Arizona.
Las Vegas Lights still getting stuck in, using their body, and not as big or as strong, obviously, as the older, more powerful Phoenix Rising players, but they've still got stuck in. They're still giving fouls away. Referee decided to pull it back, no advantage given. They've had players leave with concussion, they've had players with cuts in their head, Las Vegas Lights, and they've still battled on.
They're throwing their bodies all around tonight, getting themselves in the way of shots.
I think many folk, if this result stands, for example, many folk who see the result will go, well, Las Vegas Lights clearly weren't good enough on the day, but it will not, this result will not carry how well this team have fought back in the second half, how much pressure they've taken, how this could have been a much worse defeat, and almost that there's a sense of achievement in limiting it to 3-1 under the circumstances.
Rodriguez for Asante. Egbo preparing to come on for Phoenix. The next opportunity.
That's not good news for Las Vegas Lights.
Prince Sadie cuts it back. Baquero puts it in the corner. There's one for Phoenix's number 10, and it's goal number 4 on the night for Rising.
Baquero deserves that. He's tried his luck with shots. He's been on the edge of the box. He's had shots blocked, but eventually he gets his goal, and beautifully set up by Prince Sadie down that left-hand side, running with pace, head up, finds Baquero. Baquero's got enough time just to turn and pick his spot, and eventually beats Alex Rando, who's been absolutely superb in goals, but he had time to do it. John Baquero, the captain for the day. But have a look at the work done by Prince Sadie. Down that left-hand side, head up, finds Baquero. He just pulls the ball to his right foot, and he's got time in which to pick his spot. And when you give that man time, he's going to stick it in the corner and gives Alex Rando absolutely no chance. Delight for the captain on the day.
And Baquero gets his second goal on the season. It's brought to you by Arizona Federal Credit Union, and it's his last touch of the match, as David Egbo will come on to replace him. It's his first goal since game number 1 when he scored against San Diego Loyal. So it was a bit of a different look from Phoenix tonight with Baquero up top, and I guess you can't say it went bad, of course, as he gets the goal to finish it off.
Perfect way to leave the pitch, isn't it? Having just scored seconds earlier. But, you know, playing with that false 9, it didn't quite work for me, because there should have been more goals given the chances they had. And you think that a David Egbo or a Maddox, if they had the same number of chances, they would have banged in a few more. Nonetheless, I think we're being picky. It's 4-1. Yes, it could have been more, but still, most teams would be very happy with a 4-1 scoreline. And well done, Phoenix Rising, yet again. Their home form is just absolutely stunning. What is that, 9 wins and 3 draws out of 12? Wow, who's got that sort of home record?
And their win margin will also increase from 2.18 to, I'm not that quick with math, but you can do the math.
54 goals scored. For Vegas, unfortunately, 60 conceded.
Shot headed out of play. Let's look at tonight's stat of the game, brought to you by Sprouts, in the 4th straight match with 3+ goals for Phoenix, and that, add on to that, 2 straight with 4 goals for this Phoenix Rising attack. So they went through kind of that lull in August, but they look like they are right back on track as this is headed forward for Asante. Plays this through, Egbo, saved by Rando. That might be the best of the bunch.
It's another save by Rando. How many times have you said that tonight? It's incredible how many saves Alex Rando has made. Good saves as well. Wow, what a performance from the keeper. By the way, not just a 4-1 result for Phoenix Rising that's positive, but their star player, Solomon Asante, is back and looking good. Looking very sharp around the box and looking hungry. With Maddox having signed and David Luera as well. And Egbo settled in. It's, well, I mean, it's just an embarrassment of riches for Phoenix Rising.
They are taking care of business at home. Join USL in celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month through October 15th. Visit uslsoccer.com/Hispanic-heritage for exclusive content and stories that celebrate members of the Hispanic community that have shaped the USL. When you see how good Phoenix is at home, you just see how important it is to get that home field advantage as long as you can throughout the postseason. A quick talking to with David Egbo.
Absolutely agree with you, because you think when these two teams last met at Cashman, it was 2-2 draw.
Yep.
And yet at home it's been 5-1 and 4-1. So Clearly, Phoenix Rising at home are almost unbeatable. That's how good they are. And you're quite right. If you can keep getting home draws throughout the playoffs, and you've got every chance of going to the final.
But their big goal is, of course, to host that final. They want to be the #1 team across the USL Championship. That is for the next few weeks to decide.
Well, if they can do that and they play every game at home, they must have a great chance of being champions. But as we've seen in previous years, teams change when they get to the playoffs. It's a one-off match. They can defend and just counter-attack, park the bus sort of football, and Phoenix have found it difficult to break down.
Molina sends this in. They'll fall for him again. Jeroma trying to cut in field on that right foot. And lay it off for Vasquez. Darnell there defending.
Good to see Arturo Rodriguez still battling away in the last few minutes. And that's what Rick Schantz wants. He doesn't want his team to sort of sit back and go, this is all too easy for us. We're top of the table. We're cruising. He wants them to keep that attitude up so that when he gets to the playoffs, he doesn't have to rethink it. They just keep on going.
Luera through the middle. Here's Asante. I'm sure he would love to find a goal in this game tonight.
I'm sure the fans would love him to score because he's their big hero. And they've seen him score many a goal at home. And it would just be the icing on the cake for this wonderful support they've got at Wild Horse Pass.
Seconds to go in regular time.
I was going to say, he's still working on that math problem, man.
Some nice football from Las Vegas Lights, but again, I look at how many saves Andre Rawls has had to make. Hasn't been too many, and of those, none of them have been really that difficult. Just the goal itself, which was a very well taken goal from an excellent free kick from Roberto Molina. But other than that, I can't remember Andre Rawls really having to make top-class saves, whereas Alex Rando, he must be in double figures now for saves.
Trejo is taken off the ball. Now Luera showing that burst of pace through the middle. Jeroma pulling him back, and that's a yellow card every time.
He looks a really good talent, doesn't he, David Luera? So quick with the ball. Fantastic on the counter-attack, and I think it's going to be very useful for Rick Schantz when they've been defending and they need to counter-attack. Look at the pace. No wonder Daroma has to pull him back. And by the way, Daroma is really quick. So if you can go around Daroma, you've got to have some amazing pace.
Get into stoppage time. It is 3 minutes of stoppage time, and it is presented by Sprouts. Alex Rando, his second game here at Wild Horse Pass, and his second game with double-digit saves, 10 on the night. And still 3 minutes to go.
And of those 10 saves, you can say 5 or 6 of them have been top-class saves. Saves that if he doesn't make them, they hit the back of the net. They weren't straightforward saves. They were saves that were hit close to him. The one again, David Luera's one from 6 yards was a wonderful reflex save. He had the one from Santi Moa. He tipped onto the post. He had Ryan Flood's pile driver from 20 yards that nearly slipped under his body that he managed to save. The list goes on and on of really good saves that Alex Rando has made. 20 years of age, spectacular talent.
player down here for Las Vegas Lights. 2 minutes to go.
It's Avila. It's cramp as well. We've had a few players suffering from cramp. They've had to work really hard just to try and contain Phoenix Rising. They could do with some time off, these players.
That's the other part about this young team, is it's not only learning to play the game, it's how to prepare your body for the game, getting hydrated, and especially they would of course know in Las Vegas is almost just as hot as it is here in Phoenix. Is all part of the professional life.
I guess the good news for Las Vegas, if I'm not mistaken, their next match is a week away, and if not even more than a week away. It's on the 25th, so it's 9 days, which gives them, it's San Diego at home, that gives them time just to recover a little bit. They've been playing 2 matches a week almost solidly now for the last 6 weeks or so.
Already their 5th match in September, so they'll get a nice little break. There are only 1 more in the month after this one. And then they'll be spaced out pretty nicely as they get into the final month of the season. Although their last game of the season, they'll be welcoming in the Tampa Bay Rowdies to Cashman Field day before Halloween. Oh, Prince Sadie putting the defender on skates. Here's the cross. Asante was waiting for it. Darnell King. Wrong side of the post. That might be the last chance of the night for Phoenix Rising.
Well, they nearly got to 5-1, which was a score last time these teams met, with Phoenix being at home. But yeah, just in summary, Alex Rando, congratulations. As he did in the previous match against Orange County, man of the match for Las Vegas Lights. Brave attempt by these young players against all the odds for Phoenix Rising. Good professional performance. Well done to them as well.
And there's the final whistle. Pretty straightforward performance tonight for Phoenix Rising, scoring 3 goals in the first half, 2 goals inside of 20 minutes, and now 4 straight wins after it was a tough run of form in August. They have really turned things around, and they're the first team to 50 points in the USL Championship in 2021.
Santi Moa, brilliant on the day, absolutely stunning performance. David Luera, nice, exciting introduction to the home crowd. Great to see Solomon Asante back. Happy days all round for Phoenix Rising. Congratulations to the youngsters of Las Vegas for putting up a decent battle here under very trying circumstances. And once again, extra congratulations to Alex Rando in goals.
So we'll come back and wrap things up here from Wild Horse Pass, but it finishes Phoenix Rising 4, Las Vegas Lights 1.
The unknown is not empty. It's a storm that crashes and consumes, replacing thought with worry. But one thing can calm uncertainty: an answer. Uncovered through exploration, teamwork, and innovation. An answer that leads to even more answers. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
4 goals on the night for Phoenix Rising and 3 points, of course, keeps them at the top of the Pacific Division. Time to look back on these 90 minutes with our full-time highlights. And plenty of goals to show you in this one. And it started right from the get-go, 2nd minute. And Aiden Quinn just picking up a ball in the midfield, and he would do the rest.
Yep, that high press from Phoenix Rising works so well. Pounce on any errors. There's the pounce. Ball's going to come loose to Aiden Quinn. He's through. He's got defenders trying to hold on to him. Hits it. Alex Rando, we thought for a second he made a save, but it just trickles over the line. That was in the 2nd minute already, and Las Vegas Lights were under pressure.
Another goal for Aiden Quinn, 17th minute. It would be another one, and this time he'd get the assist.
Yeah, Asante with a header, fantastic header. He's not renowned. Yeah, he's pointing at his head as if I don't do this often. When I do it in style. Again, Alex Rando, no chance with that. It was headed wide, and it was headed with pace.
So that was goal number 2, and just when you thought Phoenix was about to pull away, Vegas pulled one back.
Roberto Molina with a lovely free kick. Julian Vasquez with the faintest of touches goes past Andre Rolls, and they were back in the game, and they'd taken an absolute hammering early on, but they clawed their way back in. But just when they were settling down, they tried to play out the back yet again. The ball got pounced on yet again. Arturo Rodriguez will take it, throw a dummy, and what a back of the net. Alex Rando, no chance.
So another one there for Phoenix Rising. Arturo Rodriguez, his 2nd goal on the season. And then 82nd minute, it's just the finishing touch for Phoenix Rising. John Becquero's last touch on the field would be goal number 4 on the game.
Prince Sadie on the left-hand side with such pace and power. Gets his head up, sees Becquero. He just pulls the ball onto his right foot, picks his spot, past Alex Rando into the back of the net. Took them a long time to get their 4th. Credit to Las Vegas Lights for putting up a good battle. But look at that, 14 shots on target to 3. It was a bit of a pasting, and surprising the score was only 4-1.
34 shots on the night, and that's just 7 behind their record from last time they played Las Vegas Lights at home at Wild Horse Pass.
Yeah, very one-sided, which is why, 4-1 isn't a bad result for Las Vegas Lights. I thought they put up a really decent battle. It doesn't, people will say 4-1's a hammering, but it's unfair for these youngsters. They really did battle. In the end, though, Phoenix Rising just way too strong for a bunch of young players.
So another strong performance at home from Phoenix Rising, a place where they have not lost, and they continue that trend here tonight. They'll be in action next at home against Orange County on Saturday. But for tonight, that'll do it for our entire crew and broadcast partner Gary Bailey. I'm Josh Eastern saying so long. It finishes Phoenix Rising 4, Las Vegas Lights 1. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.